What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another Snooker Digest Monday, where we're going to be having a quick recap at last week's action where Mark Allen won his second Champion of Champions title. And it also gave us one final chance to have a look at some players and what their chances are looking like going into next weekend's UK Championship. But starting with Mark Allen, there is a lot to commend him on at the moment. This is his fourth title in a little over 12 months, and he now has really elevated his game to the highest level. You know, he's always been a winner, but his tournament wins would usually be few and far between. But now he is looking the real deal. You know, we've seen the likes of O'Sullivan, Selby, Judd Trump win multiple tournaments in a season. And he's now reached that kind of level. And it's even more impressive given the fact that it wasn't so long ago that he was facing some off-table difficulties. So to bounce back in the way that he has done is hugely impressive. And look, he pretty much played the perfect tournament in the sense that he started off fairly slowly, not playing particularly well against Jimmy White in his opening match. But in truth, he didn't really need to. And then from then on, he was pretty solid against Ali Carter, finished his semi-final against John Higgins really strongly, and then dismantled Judd Trump in the final, which is a hard enough thing to do even if Judd was in no form at all, let alone doing it after he's won 3 titles already this season. And perhaps this is all the more indication that his fitness work off the table is doing wonders for his performance on it. I don't intend to delve into body sizes of different players, but it really doesn't seem like a coincidence that his game has reached new heights at the same time that he's been going on this weight loss journey. And long may it continue, because even though he's nearing his late 30s now, he's still got a lot to look forward to in the game if he stays this sharp. What this also does is put him into the perfect position to go and defend his UK title next week in York, because the season hadn't really gotten started until now, but this is just going to increase his confidence tenfold going into the first Triple Crown event of the new season. It wasn't just Mark Allen though that will have benefited from last week. Judd Trump again looks on a different level despite not being able to deliver his very best in the final. And the scary thing really for the rest of the field is they probably know they'll need to play somewhere near Mark Allen's level in that final to have any chance of beating him next week. And I do think Judd will be wanting to prove a few remaining doubters wrong who keep going on about his record in Triple Crown events, even though he's still got plenty of time on his side. And look, 4 Triple Crown events is still a pretty good haul. Barry Hawkins still looks like he's in good touch. John Higgins is playing pretty well, although he may need to avoid some of the biggest hitters next week to stand a chance at the trophy. I thought Ali Carter looked good, and I do still think there's a big performance coming from Ding Junhui soon. Although it is important to remember that he's dropped out of the top 16 now, so he's going to need to win 2 qualifiers just to reach the main event, which starts this Saturday. There were some notable absentees too, and that's going to have an effect on what could happen next week. O'Sullivan, of course, pulled out due to some off-table issues, and whilst everyone wants him to be in York next week to go for a record-extending 8th UK title, it is, of course, far more important that he uses all the time he needs away from the table so that he can come back when he feels ready to. Karen Wilson was another player who wasn't in Bolton last week, and he is still searching for a Triple Crown event, a first Triple Crown title, I should say. And we've not seen too much of him so far this season, so this would be a pretty good time for him to rediscover a bit of form. Neil Robertson was another very noticeable omission from last week, and it will take a brave man to bet on him winning a 4th UK title, given his rather drastic loss of form and his recent admission that he has been struggling with his inability to go back home for a few years now. Then you've got Jack Lazowski, another player who didn't qualify for last week's 16, but we do know that he is in a really good place in terms of form. It's just about finding that last piece of the jigsaw for him, and winning a UK championship wouldn't be a bad way of breaking the curse that surrounds him and silverware. But ultimately, this is a topic that I will be delving into in much greater length during my preview of the UK Championship, which will be coming out at some point later this week. For now though, all credit to Mark Allen, only the 3rd player to win this title on more than one occasion, and let's be fair, he done it with relative ease. Of course, I'd love to hear your views on the tournament as well, and I'll be back very soon as this festive seasonal snooker properly gets underway.